Welcome Michelle Clifton to our community share, our stage here at NLBP, who is going to be sharing her expertise in sound healing and singing bowls. And Michelle, you can introduce yourself, tell a little bit about your background, and then you can start us off and tell everyone what's going on.
Okay, so Camille, I think you should mute your mic now. Yeah, and please everyone be sure that you're muted, because I once was in the middle of doing a sound bath in like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden someone came in and they started yelling, "Honey, I'm on Zoom." and I heard the kids in the background yelling and everything. And thank God there was someone who knew all about Zoom and said, "Make me host, and then I'll find the person," because I couldn't, it wasn't something. And all these people who were in this wonderful meditation, were drawn out. So my name's Michelle Clifton, and I have a passion for sound healing. Just in thinking of this today, I realized that I first started studying energy healing in 1987 because a very good friend's son had a brain tumor, and another friend and I decided that we would study Reiki so we could start doing Reiki as often as we could on our partner's son for his brain tumor. And I do think it helped with him living a little longer. He lived for 4.5 years, and we were very grateful for that amount of time. So then over the years, I studied all kinds of different energy healing, and I got a massage license, both in New York State and a national massage license. I became certified in Jinshin Jitsu, which is a Japanese healing art. I'm a cranial sacral therapist. I studied myofascial release. I studied with a Polish healer who heals the auric field of the body, who is just brilliant and is now in Bethesda, Maryland. And I just studied whatever I was drawn to. And once a month, we practitioners of Jinshin Jitsu got together and would work on each other. And one of my fellow friend and healer said, "I'm going to study sound healing. Does anyone want to join me?" So I said, all right. I had no idea what it was. And I thought, okay, I'm going to study sound healing. So we studied for a year. It was actually, we were the first class of the Sage Center that's in New Paltz and is now a big center. And we were their first class. There were 8 of us. And we studied tuning forks and crystal bowls and metal bowls and, just everything that could make sounds. And in the middle of that class, another healer said she was studying with a man from India with metal bowls, and she thought I would enjoy doing that. So I went to a class, and as soon as I put this bowl on my body, I thought I died and went to heaven. It was just the most beautiful sound. And I always had tried to meditate before, but when I would be sitting quietly, I'd think, oh, this is a big waste of my time. I have so many things to do. I can't spend any more time here. I have to get going. So once I played bowls, within like 3 strikes of the bowl, I just go into a deep meditation. Any busy thoughts just leave my mind. And once I experienced this, I wanted to learn everything I could about it, and I wanted to introduce it to other people so that they too could benefit from the singing bowls. So I want you all to hear this bowl, which this is all my bowls are hand hammered bowls, and the majority of my bowls are from India. I do have 1 or 2 from Nepal as well, and I keep being pursued by these people in Nepal that want me to buy bowls. I only know a fellow healer who bought a whole series of bowls, and he said half of them were really good, and the other half were horrible. And he wouldn't even, sell them to people or use them because, and he says there was no way to control what it is. So I'm debating whether to try them or not. But so this is the sound of this bowl. And if I hit this bowl once, it will vibrate for 2 to 3 minutes without hitting it again. And this particular bowl is the sound of an F and a C. And this is from the International Academy of Sound Healing, which is where I bought most of my bowls. This bowl is called the Unique Meditation Bowl. And this bowl can either be, in sound healing, I was taught that we mainly use a soft mallet like this. There's 2 different sizes. There's a bigger one and a smaller. The bigger one usually does for bigger bowls, but I really love this one a lot, so I use this mallet most of the time. And when you're hitting a bowl, you hit it in the top inch, and the ideal is to come up from the bottom and then bring it up to near the top edge, because the sound and the vibration come from the top vibrating, which if you were here in person, you could put your hand right here and you could feel the vibration of the bowl. And one of my teachers, he had a bowl that had a hole in the bottom. And as long as the top was intact, down to probably about here, the sound was wonderful, even with a hole in the bottom of the bowl, which at some point I'd love to get one, just to show people. And this is a bowl that my passion, and many of you know, is to place in group sessions or private session, to place bowls on the body. And one of the reasons, well, there's many, but one of the main reasons why Tibetan singing bowls work is because we are made 70% water. So when you hit a bowl, the water in the cells of the body are actually starting to vibrate. So it's moving things in your body that you may not even be aware of. And every cell in the body and every system in the body has a sound and a vibration. And in our daily lives, just as a musical instrument can go out of tune, our bodies can go out of tune because of stress, because of anxiety, illness. There's a whole variety of reasons why we get out of balance or out of tune. So when you hit a Tibetan singing bowl, the sound goes directly into your nervous system. It doesn't have to pass through any other kinds of things in your brain. It just goes directly into the parasympathetic, so it directly is affecting your rest and digest and creating a relaxation response. And if you continue to play bowls in a certain pattern, the brain waves will start to entrain with those same patterns, and they end up having a tremendously calming effect on the whole body. There is about 10% of the population, and I'm sure many of you know people who are totally in their heads and don't ever want to get out of their heads and will resist anything like that. So those people they probably aren't even interested. I have a very good friend. She says, I'm very supportive of what you do, but I don't want to have anything to do with those bowls. And even with my big bowl, which I'll show you in a minute that you stand in, everyone at a party wanted to stand in it, but her, she says, I have no interest in standing in this bowl. And she would go way out of control if she had to get out of her head, because she's just always in her head. So you want to be, the other 90% would have great benefits from the Tibetan singing bowls. And when I was learning to play bowls, my teacher was saying that if you're working to heal your body or for a particular goal or something in your life, if your subconscious mind is not on board with what you are doing, you will not heal, or you will not be able to achieve what you're doing. That you have to reach the subconscious mind, and it's also a way to shift belief systems. If there has to be some process that is happening that can affect the subconscious and shift something so that the body can heal or reach certain goals. And as soon as I heard that, because I had some health issues, I thought, well, my subconscious mind has to be reached. So with the singing bowls, I've just found they've had such a calming effect on my nervous system. They've just been wonderful for me. And it's why I would like whoever's interested to hear how they sound and have the experience. And any of you who are far away, I hope one day I get to put bowls on you, and so that you get to experience it as well. So also, just because this is such an interesting thing, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but the sound of the nervous system is a C and a G, and these tuning forks are a C and a G. So as soon as you have to either hit the tuning forks on your bone, which if you do that a lot, then you're going to get a lot of bruises, who knows. But I have a plastic thing I hit them on. Can you hear that or not? So when you take this and place it next to the ears, this immediately balances the nervous system. And one of my teachers, John Ballou, has been doing research on this, who knows for how long, certainly 30 to 50 years, 30 to 40 years. And he sat in silent chambers for more than 500 hours. And he figured out the sound of the nervous system was a C and the G. He heard his nervous system, he heard his circulatory system, and he also has since gone to a pharmaceutical company in New Jersey where he has tested the effects of the tuning forks, which are similar to the singing bowls with particular sounds. And as soon as he plays the Tibetan singing bowl, and they measure the level of nitric oxide that is being released in someone's body. And as they're testing and John plays the tuning forks, immediately nitric oxide is being released in the body. And when nitric oxide is released in your body is healing. So the scientists, the pharmaceutical company, and this is like $1 million machine, that they use to measure this stuff. So, like the scientists kept saying they don't believe it, and they kept doing the test, and then they started believing it because it was showing scientifically that actually this works. And John has been working for a long time, doing a lot of experiments and a lot of writing, trying to show scientifically how effective this is. So, and please, as I'm speaking, if anyone has any questions, please hold your hand up. And what I've put in the chat, I've put in my website, my email address, and my phone number if anyone wants to be in touch with me. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about some of the benefits, but I have a sheet, The Benefits of Sound Healing, that I'm happy to email to anyone who might be interested in having that. So the other thing about the singing bowls is, we mostly live in beta brainwaves, which is our everyday, doing things and whatever. And when you start playing the bowls, you'll first go into into alpha, which is slightly relaxed. And then the more that you would play bowls, you'll start going into theta. And the body heals in theta and delta brain waves. And those are the brain waves particularly with delta, when you're in deep sleep. So the body heals when you're in a deep meditative state or when you're in deep sleep. So my bowls are all made out of, they're bronze bowls and they're hand hammered. And they are made out of mainly copper and tin. They're probably 99.5, maybe closer to 99% copper and tin. And my bowls are all made in the shape called the Jambati shape. And this shape is made specifically so that the bowls will ring for a really long time. And this bowl is a bowl that is to be used to play all over the body. And in the last month, when I've been doing my group things or even private sessions, I run this I run this bowl all over the body. And I've just had such wonderful responses from people. They say, oh, I just loved it. And in a way, it's like getting a mini massage. And I've had people in a group say, I don't know what everybody else is doing, but you're only working on me. So, and I'm working on everybody. So people are feeling that they're getting a very personal attention. And one thing I have these little sticky pads that I hand out to people in a group, and I tell them to place it on their body where they might have pain or they'd want a bowl to be played. And in one group, I had a woman who said, would you play on my elbow? I said, okay. So there were about 20 people. So I played on her elbow, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And 3 weeks later, she ran up to me in a coffee shop and she said, you played a bowl on my elbow. My elbow hurt for a year and my elbow hasn't hurt for the past 3 weeks. And I don't know if it's going to anymore. So once that happened, I then started giving out these little pads and telling people to put them on their body. And I just had such good responses from people that, and I say, try to note how long your pain goes or what effect it has. Sometimes it can be very long. I know when I volunteered, I had a knee issue and my teacher played on my knee. It didn't hurt for like 5 years until I had an accident and I reheard it. And now it's back to being good. It took a while to heal. So, the Tibetan singing bowls are really a bell, and they're because and some of them are made by companies who make bells for churches and stuff, because but they're called a standing bell because, they can rest like this, and then they end up having more usefulness. And bowls were, once they learned to smelt copper and tin, which was around 3200 BC, and I guess the Bronze Age started in 2000 BC, bowls were starting to be used for some rituals, but they probably were much more made for food storage. And I was told by one teacher they kept rats out because they were metal. So they had a much more practical use in many ways, but then became used for rituals. And no one is sure where it started, because some people think it went from India to Tibet, and then, you know, other places. There's not, it's India, Tibet, and Nepal all made the bowls and were involved with it. And there's a, it would be within families who would do this. And there are also bowls that later were China, Japan, Mongolia, other places. So is there anyone, oh, let me just say, there is such a list of what the bowls do, and I'll just give a few of the things. But the possible benefits that relieve stress, reduces pain, anxiety, depression, activates self-healing, increases oxygen, lowers blood pressure, elevates melatonin, it harmonizes the auric field, rebalances the chakras. These are just a few. So if you want me to send you the sheet, I'm happy to do that. And if you have any other questions about Tibetan singing bowls, please either get in touch with me or ask me now. So here I am. Anybody have any questions? If not, oh, let me look in the chat to see if there's anything that is.
I don't see anything in the chat, but if anyone has a question, you could just unmute yourself and ask. Elizabeth, you have a question?
So, Michelle, I'm curious as to how you decide which bowl to place on the body. Obviously, if somebody's having pain or something, like you would place a bowl there, but are there certain bowls that you would use for pain, or I mean, obviously also size plays a role, but just if you could maybe talk a little bit about that, I'm sure it's fascinating.
The one thing that I'm going to teach a class in, because this bowl that I was showing you is to play on the body, and it is, I was taught very specific things, especially for joints, for knees, for hips, you know, feet and hands, shoulders, things like that. So, and this is a fairly you know, bowls are expensive, but this is a fairly reasonably priced bowl. And I'm going to teach a class totally in this bowl where people then would be able to, you know, do it on their friends, neighbors, or, you know, incorporate it into their healing. So this bowl, if I'm in a group, I will often come around and play it on different people. All of the bowls would be very healing to the body. And certain things like my chakra bowls, if someone has a lot of issues in their either digestive tract or in their hips in that area, it's a very big bowl, but you place it on the belly and it can vibrate and affect the back, you know, affect all kinds of things. So, and I like to play, I often will ask people, because I love heavier bowls placed on my body. And there was one woman, she was a fairly large woman. I was sure a big bowl would be great for her. At the end, she said, this was much too heavy for me. I'd like the smallest bowl you have. She loved a bowl that was this size on her chest, and that was all she wanted. And so there's a combination of, so I try to gauge, you know, and I tell people, if I've placed a bowl on your body, you don't like it where it's placed, you can lift it and move it with the little sticky pad to another place. Or you can take it off, because once I had a man, and at the end of the class, he said, you put this bowl on my body and you didn't take it off for the longest time, and I was trapped and I couldn't get out of it. And that from then on, I give people permission to either take the bowl off or to move the bowl because of that. So to answer your question, I have been taught a variety of protocols that are specifically for different things, that range, you know, from pain. I have specific bowls to help. Well, all my bowls we'll start a process of detoxing and of letting go certain things. So after the session, please be sure that you drink plenty of water. You may want to take, a little bit of water before we start, because since our bodies are 70% water, the water helps in the process of feeling the bowls and experiencing them. So I have certain protocols that I always start with what is a brain wave relaxation set of bowls, and I will start this meditation with those bowls. That immediately will bring someone, well, sometimes it takes a while if we have a busy mind and disruptive thoughts to kind of calm. I'll do a meditation that will help relax the body, but then those start to relax the brain waves and allow you to go deeper. And then I will play a different variety of bowls, all to continue the process of relaxation. So I hope I've answered your question, Elizabeth, because I feel like it's not totally answered.
No, that was great. That gave me, yeah,
Okay.
that was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Is there anyone else that has questions? Because would like to start. I'm going to play, it looks like now till about 5 to 1 or 1, so around 25 minutes or a little more. And I'm just going to play until the end. We're not going to come back and talk or anything. So if anyone is able to just relax, you can just continue to relax at the end. And we're just going to go out then. So I want to be sure people are either lying down or in a comfortable seat. If you have a way to put like a scarf or an eye pillow over your eyes, anything like that. So it'll be a very relaxing experience. So
I just to thank Camille in advance. I think this is the first time I've been to any of your sessions. I got an email from Michelle, and it's so good to see Michelle and Judy. I haven't seen Judy in forever, and Michelle, it's really good to see you. And I've experienced a lot of Michelle's bowl classes in person, and they are unbelievable. And during the pandemic, she would have lots, and I would put my iPad against my chest or like on my belly, and I would fall asleep. And you're a godsend, and thank you.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you were able to come, and I am continuing to do 2 Saturday nights in November and December, if anyone wants emails to those for those sound baths, and I play the 4th Wednesday of each month. So we'll get started now, and I'm going to move my chair, and I have to be sure I move this. So thank you, everyone who's come. If you have additional questions, just let me know, and be sure you're all on mute. And I look forward to the next time I get to see or chat with you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Camille. So be sure you're in a comfortable position, and allow yourself to start to relax. Be sure that you feel really comfortable and ready to hear the sounds of the bowls. Take a few deep breaths, and as you exhale, start relaxing your toes. And now relax your feet and continue to breathe in and out. And as you're exhaling, move up your legs, relax your ankles, your calves. Relax your thighs and your hips. Allow your back to just sink into your mat, into your chair, and soften your shoulders. Allow your arms to flow down from your shoulders and your hands to be in a very relaxed position. Allow the muscles in your neck to soften. Allow your face to just soften. Allow your eyes to drop deep into your head. Allow your jaw to drop down. And just allow your whole body to relax and let go. Take a few more deep breaths. And allow your conscious awareness to move into a very deep, and quiet place deep within you. And now imagine there is a beautiful golden light radiating from a deep place within you. This light begins to grow, and it fills your entire body with this beautiful glowing light from deep within you. This beautiful golden light penetrates every cell, every atom, every part of your body. And your entire body is glowing and radiating with this beautiful golden light. See and feel your entire body being transformed. And imagine everything in your life being similarly transformed. Ask that the sound of the bowls merge with this beautiful golden light emanating from deep in your body, so that this light surrounds you, the sound of the bowls surround you, sound of the bowls and the beautiful light transform you and heal you.